Joy and welcome to my studio. Today we're working on this little cute 4th of July pin that you can pin right onto you for the 4th of July or give away to friends. You also could leave it whole and do it as a little mini vase. You just need to anchor the bottom, and I do have another video if you want to check that one out. So let's get started. I used a little mini bottle gourd or a bigger jewelry bottle gourd or gourd, whatever kind of worked for you. I took the top, I took my mini saw and I cut the top off first, and then I cut them in half. And then after that you might want to kind of sand it down and get that kind of nice and smooth, so that is kind of more on more evenly touching and everything. Don't worry about cleaning it out really well, because we're going to hide most of this. But the first thing we're going to do once you've got that cut and clean is we're going to put black, and I'm going to just do the neck that would show and then the edges. So we're going to do that and just the edges. And we're going to do that all the way around. Anything that would show, we want to make sure that we've got that covered up. And most of this should pretty well get covered with our backing, but we just want to make sure that we've got it covered up in case it does. So we've got that done. And then we're going to color him with alcohol inks. And I'm going to start by doing some silver. Actually, I'm going to use pearl on his background, and this is just to kind of cover everything, so if any of it would show through, that you wouldn't see a little naked gourd. And I may go back to that silver. My first thought was better. And these are Adirondacks by Ranger. And it's a good idea to let that black dry in between, because that's what I'm kind of picking up, is a little bit of that black, instead of hurrying the video like I happen to be doing. And I did find one thing, when you're working with these, if you wanted to do a few at a time, do them all and do them all in one step, and that gives them time to dry in between processes as well. And because I found that I wanted to hurry them a little bit too much, and I got my hand in places that I shouldn't have, or got ahead of myself. Because like right now, one of the things that I should have done in the very beginning is find your little piece. I used leather. You could use a heavier material or anything like that that you wanted to use, and trace around. You want to get that nice and close. Trace around your little gourd here. I'm going to take my white charcoal pencil, and if it's not writing, take a little bit of flame and just heat that up on your pencil, and then it'll write really well. So I'm going to take my pencil and go around, and just a piece of leather or a heavier piece of material. And then right where it's open, you want to just come straight across on that. And then we'll come back to that in just a little bit. Now that we put our base on there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my little gourd into a container where he'll stand up, and I can run the colors down him without kind of touching him. And I'm going to use a pepper red. And we're just going to kind of let it come down like it wants to. And there is no right or wrong on this. Just remember that. The one thing that I will try to tell you to do is try and keep the blue and the red as much, and try to keep them from mixing as much as possible, because it will start to get a little black when those two get together. So we're going to try and separate them just a little bit. I got some black there, but that's okay. We'll put some pearl in it. And you can play with it. You may have a better way of doing it. And a little bit of silver. Your silvers are always heavier, and I need to get them to try and run on different areas, so that's fun. Then I'm going to come in here, and I'm also going to hit it with some of my alcohol blending solution, and this is also by Adirondack. You find it with your alcohol inks in your stamp book section, and I'm going to hit it with a mister. And what that's going to kind of do is just kind of blend that all together. I'm also going to hit it with my heat gun and just get that nice and dry. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take him outside and I'm going to varnish him, and I'm going to varnish him with my Krylon gloss. You could use whatever kind you wanted, it does not matter. But while that's drying from the varnish, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the back that we did while we're waiting for that to dry. And finish cutting him all the way out. And then once you're done cutting him out and your varnish is dry, we want to set him on and make sure that he fits. But then once that's dry, we'll come on back and we'll finish him up. Another thing you can do while you're waiting for that to dry is go ahead and get your little garland pieces cut. And I'm probably doing about 7 or 8 inches and cutting them, and I'm leaving a part straight and then curling them. And you can curl them as tight or as loose as you want to. Take your ends and really tuck those in. You could even do that with a wire cutter because you don't want those poking you while you're working on them. And I got these little flags, and you usually see these flags every year, but I found them at the Dollar Tree, but they were for baking, and they came with the cupcakes. There was 24 in a thing, and they were exactly what I was looking for, but I'm sure other places have little flags in case you can't find them. Now you can see how much more muted this is than the other one I did, so everyone's going to turn out different. That's what's so great about it. And now that it's dry, I'm going to kind of check and make sure that my edges aren't wider than I want them. When you're cutting this, make sure that you cut on the inside of the white line because you traced it, and you're going to make sure you get that pretty close. So we're going to check that again. And that is pretty good. I could do it a little bit better, but that's alright. And we're going to flip our gourd over and glue him on the back side. Try just a little bit more. Seems to show up at the neck a little bit more. And I'm going to be using my E6000, and you guys that know we carry it, but it just is a really great glue to glue hard stuff to hard stuff. And I'm going to use a much loved tube here that I've been using for quite a while and get every bit of it I can out of it. So it may not look great, but it still works the same. So I've glued all of those little areas. And I'm going to flip him on over, and you may want to put a paper towel underneath it just in case you got any of the glue onto the table or anything, and push that all down. Now at this point in time, I would give him some time to dry. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to go ahead and finish him off, but other than that, because you don't want to normally have that wiggling around on you, just let him go ahead and dry. But I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to take and put my 3 little flags in first, and I'm going to put them in with my hot glue gun. Get that closer to me there. I want that first one right in the center. And then I'm going to put the other 2. And if you think about gluing, the back of the flag that's going to touch. And I want those just a little bit lower. point it out though. And this guy here. And then all we're simply going to do, now that we've got those, is hot glue in our little garland. I don't know if you'd call it confetti or what you would call it, and just fill it in. And you're just going to take that and fill it all the way in. And I think I counted that I had 7 pieces in here by the time I got done. Another thing you could do is wrap a little bit of garland and have it shooting out on the neck. I think that would be really cute as well. So there's a lot of fun things you can do with it. And then put your hot glue gun, your pin, or probably better either way, E6000. You could also E6000 it, but always make sure that your pin is pointing down when you're done, because you always want to be able to attach it going down. And that is our fun 4th of July pin, or like I said, you could keep it whole and turn it into a little tiny vase. So there's a lot of fun things you can do with that. Come over to my website at miriamjoy.com, where we carry the E6000 and lots of other fun things as well. And you'll see the YouTube link. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you can type in search and you can put in 4th of July videos, and it'll bring up all the fun 4th of July videos that we've done in the past. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. God bless.